Tell me something. Are you concerned about climate change? I can imagine most of you nodding to that. Now answer this. Have you changed any of your habits, say using reusable water bottles, which makes your actions actually align towards climate change efforts? Hi, Amrit here, co-founder of Core Voice, and in this episode of Core Insights, I want to share findings from a paper published this year, 2023, in the Journal of the Association for Consumer Research, written by a bunch of authors from different universities, including that from the Yale School of Management. So the authors in this paper have shared some strategies that can help bridge the gap between what we want to do versus our habits that can actually help us walk the talk, especially with respect to the topic of climate change. According to a 2021 Pew Research report, 64% of Americans, for example, believe that protecting the environment should be top priority, with over half saying that climate change specific actions should definitely be taken. But only 24% claim that they actually took any concrete steps in that direction. And that's the gap that we are talking about here. So the authors of this paper decided to explore a very straightforward strategy of simply reminding high intent people of the right actions that they should take that's aligned to their intent, to see how effective such a strategy could be. You should be asking two questions at this point of time, right? One, what kind of reminders work best? And two, when should a person be reminded? Let's start off with the second question first. So the authors did 3 studies. In the first study, they wanted to just find out what some existing perceptions are around when should one be reminded. So they recruited people who were managing dining and food services facilities, some even in charge of sustainability, from both within the college campus, that was offline, about 25 participants, and from the industry, that was an online with 60 participants. All the participants were asked to imagine a hypothetical scenario where everyone in a college or a workplace has been given reusable bottles that they need to carry with them when they are filling it. Now the participants were asked where they thought some sort of a posters reminding to use reusable bottles, where would those posters work best? A, inside the dorm or near a workstation desk in case of office employees, or B, when such reminder posters were placed near water stations itself. What would your guess be? Almost 3/4 of the total participants suggested placing the posters closer to the water stations. Is that what you were guessing too? But see, here's the surprising thing. These same participants had also expressed that one of the biggest challenges in not using reusable bottles was simply forgetting to carry that reusable water bottle from the dormitory room or the desk to the water station. So you see the issue here. I mean, if that's a challenge, wouldn't it be pointless to remind them by a poster which is placed near the water station? In the second study, the researchers actually went ahead and put up posters inside a tech company which had 2 kinds of messages. And these posters were put either near the respective desks or near the water dispensers. And the 2 kinds of messages, they tried to remind of the participants of 2 different types of goals. One was around general hydration goals, like are you drinking enough water today? And another type of message was more around sustainability type of goals, meaning are you drinking from a reusable bottle today? But essentially both kinds of messages were written in a way to sort of encourage the use of reusable bottles. So what was the result? The reminders placed near desks worked more effectively than the ones put up near the water dispensers, irrespective of actually the kind of messages, or both messages had the similar response. So essentially those who saw the reminder at their desk where the bottles were consumed more water because they ended up carrying those reusable bottles. Not only that, even after the posters were removed, for those who sort of saw it near the desk, they continued that behavior. While few of those who ended up using reusable bottles because they saw posters near the dispenser, once the posters were taken off, they went back to their usual way of doing things, which tells us that when we are reminded in the upstream journey of our decision, right, then the change actually becomes a habit and therefore continues. While when we are reminded of a behavior or an action in the downstream journey, then it's just a reminder and fails to trigger habit formation. So eventually we go back to the old ways of doing things. Now in the third and final study, the researchers just wanted to find out what kind of upstream reminders work best. For this, 300 participants were asked to imagine a grocery shopping scenario. So they were divided into 3 randomized groups of 100 each, and each group was given a different reminder condition. 100 of them were given general reminders. They were asked to think of their preferred grocery store, but also to imagine that the store had gifted them a magnetic grocery notepad, that thing that you stick on the fridge for making grocery lists. Right. Now another 100 were given bag-specific reminders, reusable bag-specific reminders. They were said to think of their preferred grocery stores and then imagine that the store had gifted them door hooks for hanging reusable bags. And no reminder was given to the remaining 100. They were just asked to think of their preferred grocery store. Now, all the 300 participants were asked how likely were they to stop at the grocery store that day. They were also asked how likely they would be to bring their own reusable bags for shopping. The result? As expected, the bag-specific reminder increased the likelihood of the participants to bring a reusable bag compared to the other two reminders, or no reminder in one case. So what happens is, as per the authors, using a phrase like door hook for hanging reusable bags serves as a contextual cue. It ends up acting not just as a general shopping reminder, but also a cue for bringing the reusable bags. Alright, hope this insight was useful. Keep doing more of what brings you joy and less of what sucks it away. And if you do care about climate change, now you know what could help you actually do something about it. See you soon with some more insights. And if you need to go through the PDF of this research paper from which I share the findings, just ping me and I will share that with you.